Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. It's buy time, guys. Last night's live stream is already playing out. Some of the prices I told you that were coming have hit just exactly like predicted. So we're going to go through. I'm going to gloat a little bit, as I like to do, because it's always fun to say I told you so. Like I said, one of the greatest things in the world to be able to do is be right and say I told you so. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through a few things. We're going to talk about what strategy is going to be for this week, and I'll get right to that here shortly. So as usual, we have a little bit of radio silence, and let me go ahead and let everybody know that I'm on live stream here. Get you guys into the stuff, and I'll be right back. So just hang on for just a second. We'll have a couple minutes of silence, and we'll be right with you. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I've got my headset on here, so my sound quality is going to be a little bit different than it was on the last live broadcast. So hopefully everybody can hear me. Just always bump me if there's a little issue, because you know how my sound jumps up and down. So it looks, according to my radio levels or my readout levels here, it looks like I'm doing pretty good as far as output goes. If you guys can't hear me, just let me know and I'll make adjustments. Seems like anytime I touch my keyboard, it readjusts my percentages of output. So just kind of let me know if I happen to not have presence of mind and hit my buttons or something like that, because I got a lot going on here flying the spaceship. So, all right, well, so we've already hit some of these prices, so it's always fun to say I told you so. So we're going to go ahead and go through a few things here. I'm going to wait for a few more people to come in here. I'm going to kill the mic for just a couple more seconds, grab myself something to drink here real quick, and then we'll get started. I know this is kind of an impromptu thing, but I'm seeing that I was watching last night's broadcast and just checking prices. I'm going, shit, I'm better than I thought. So that's not true. I'm a legend in my own mind. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a look at what I told you was coming, and it was to no surprise, to be honest. It was coming right about on track. So especially things like T Fuel and Bitcoin and what's a few others, XRP, are falling in line just exactly like I told you. So we're going to be seeing this is going to be a hell of a good weekend. So between now and tomorrow, this is Saturday on my side of the planet. Between now and tomorrow, you're gonna see some drops. You definitely are. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of strategy. I'm gonna give you my permission, my opinion, my whatever you want to call it. Um, What's the matter, Flemish? You afraid? Am I feeling okay? Why? Why? Because I'm broadcasting twice in 2 days. Yeah, well, I got something to say. Like I said, I won't broadcast if I don't have something to say. Now I do. I got plenty to talk about. So, all right. So let me kill this a little bit here. Let me go grab something to drink. I'll be right with you here just a second. A little radio silence, and I will be right. All right, thanks for hanging out here, guys. All right, so it's middle of the day here. It is exactly 12 o'clock noon, Chicagoland time. Thank you once again for joining me. Normally, we don't like to do these midday broadcasts because half the planet's not awake, and they wake up and go, oh, shit, I missed something. So I tend to try to do my broadcasts in the evening or afternoon and stuff like that. And we might even get another one tonight here as soon as Tiny Tank gets on. That one will be a little bit more informal. We'll be talking about some plans and stuff we got coming up. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the business at hand here. Let's take a look and see what's doing. Look at that. So as I told you last night, so you guys, it's only been a few hours. Most of you guys are watchers of the show. If any of you guys are stumbling in on the first time broadcast, thank you for joining us. My name is Red Baron. I'm from FibbyCharts.com and the unfairadvantage.chat. We'll be talking about that here in just a second. I usually put up my normal graphics. So all the charts that you're seeing come from this website right here, FibbyCharts.com. That features our automated intelligence programs built by ISIS and Anubis, which are our predictive programs that are built into our charts. And if you'd like to join us at our free Discord, there's no charge to do that. We'd love to have you be a part of our group. Simply just join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. Okay, so without much ado, let's get on to the show. So anyway, like I told you last night, we checked off on that. It was a ping last night. We can go ahead and take that out there. So we're on our way down to the next one, guys. So 29,000 is basically where I'm calling that. Here's our program, or here's our prediction from way back on the 11th of November, 10th, 11th of November. So we're chugging right along there. So it's going to happen. So isn't it fun to see these predictions play out and to hear the certainty in my voice to tell you it's going to happen? And it does start to happen immediately. So it's always fun to be right and to be able to demonstrate my skill. So that's kind of one of my favorite parts about this. So Bitcoin, just one of those things we're just watching. Obviously, no investors in that. I don't want to see you guys buying Bitcoin because why would you? It's just always kind of a good thing to kind of keep an eye on. So first thing we start talking about is, can we buy some Ethereum yet? Check her out. Check her out. She's in the box. She's in the box. Now, will we go lower? Yeah, I do believe we will go lower. So let's start looking at some indicators here. So let's start with the top. We always like to work our way from top to bottom. So again, a little refresher course. This is our Snapdragon, sometimes called the Alligator. The old version is called Alligator. The new version is called Snapdragon. Anytime green is below red and blue, that means we are in a negative position. We are headed down. And so that is and of course, obviously, the wider those are spread, the more indicating that we are going to be heading down with a lot more fierceness and stuff like that. And that is exactly what we've got. We've got a waterfall formation, and excuse me, let me get a back button on this. There we go. So we basically got a waterfall formation that's showing us that this thing is heading down. So second thing we're looking for is the Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band's coming out of the throat, starting to flare out. So that's indicator number 2 to the negative side. Number 3, we're looking at we've got our relative strength indicator is screaming upwards. We are rolled down in the MACD, and our RSI is undersold, or is into the negative. So we're 5 by 5. This thing is going down. There's nothing indicating this thing is going to turn up. So that's good for us as Ethereum buyers. You know how I feel about this. Anytime you can buy your nails to build your fortress, These are your nails. This is your cost of doing business. So anytime you can buy this stuff cheap, get it done, man. Get it done. So we're looking at probably, like I said last night, we're looking anywhere from probably about the halfway. This is obviously going to be where we're going to be checking off. We're moments from doing that here. I'll get this out. You can see we're not. We'll be tagging that dual AI line here probably during this show, I would imagine. A lot of these are probably going to finalize during this show because I'm going to run this for just a short period of time. If I'm a little choppy here, I'm sorry about that. If I might have to switch to my other mic. I'm trying to use my headphones because it's just a little easier. But anyway, you'll see an awful lot of these things probably play out here during the show here. We're going to run the show for about an hour or so, get through the major points and stuff like that, and let you guys get on with your Saturday afternoon here. If it's bad enough, guys, I'll switch over to my other microphone. I just prefer to use my headphones. But I've been hearing that I'm having problems with this one. I use this to talk on the phone to a lot of you guys. And so if you're having real problems with hearing me through my microphone, then let me know and I'll turn up the volume a little bit. But I'll switch over to my standard broadcast mic if I have to. It's just a lot easier to talk with headphones on. All right, so the real party's starting to begin here. So, okay, how do you really feel about it, Grumpy? Damn. Hang on just a second. All right, how's that? A little bit better. Hang on a second. I'm gonna have to turn up my mic here just a little bit. All right, testing, testing. That's probably crazy loud there. A little bit better. We all good to go? All right. Okay. All right. I always hate to use this thing because I just hate. It's like having somebody holding their finger in your face while you're trying to talk. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, so now we're all square on that. All right, so XRP. So we hit our call from last night. I said we're going to be coming down here. We tagged it, and we're good to go. So now where are we going to go from here? So this is kind of the great unknown on this one. I'm not going to BS you because we just don't really know what's going to happen with this. I told you I expected once we get a firm convicted breakout, we're going to see it to the low end. And I conservatively told you that I want to see it cross past this, and we did. So currently, if you're looking at where we're at right now, we're basically sitting on top of support and resistance right here in the midst of all this confetti. So we've got a little bit of support and resistance right there, but we've got a box until we hit that, and then our next. So we're really watching for that window right there to be the buying opportunity. So again, I told you that to be able to buy this at 40 cents, here we are at 58 cents. Is it any stretch of the imagination to think that 40 cents I told you about last night is going to be possible? We're not that far away. We're really not that far away. Anytime, to be very clear on this, anytime this gets below 40 cents, 35, 40 cents, you have my unbridled permission to open it up and just, let it rain down. Buy this stuff. Because even though 22 to 25 cents is my prediction, I have a strong sense of suspicion that they're going to go into maintenance mode because they just, if you guys have been in crypto, you know how this is. And so 35 to 40 cents is probably the most practical. Now, I'm not saying that with any authority. It's just a very, very strong hunch that I've had for about 6 or 7 months. So nonetheless, but if you could get XRP at 40 cents compared to 35, 40 cents compared to what it's been, in the not too recent future or not too recent past, hell of a buy, guys. Hell of a buy. Do not miss it. Do not miss it. You McDonald's money people, this is your chance at glory. You definitely want to get some of this. We talked a little bit about McDonald's McDonald's money people. I still think that T Fuel is probably your strongest play for all you guys that are really the small bag crowd. And we're going to talk about that here. In fact, I may talk about that next. I may skip down here just a little bit. Because what I want to see is I want to see you guys that have the small bags really level up, and you've only got like a precious little time to do that. You want to have the fastest moving, fastest rising thing that you can get, and so T Fuel in my mind is going to bounce a lot harder, a lot more violently than XRP. Even though XRP would be something to be great to get, if you have those small sub $1,000 bags, you gotta get a lot of bang for your buck. And although this is a pretty big cannon, it's a long shot, you know. You're not gonna. You basically. What I'm saying here is basically, you know, if you got hardly any money and you buy into XRP, you're like, okay, well, now what? Well, now nothing. You just sit forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It's not fun sitting and watching. You know, once you've blown your wad, so to speak, there's nothing left to do but just sit there and just stare at it, and that's when you start to develop trade sickness and stuff like that. So it's kind of a balancing act to get in, you know, and not over trade certainly, but not just price yourself right out of the game by spending everything on a one shot, one kill deals. So there you go with that. That's my 3 cents worth on that. So anyway, back to XRP. I'm basically going to suggest to you guys that right about here is going to be where I'm going to be very comfortable telling all of you start getting your wallets out at about 37 cents, 37 and a half cents. Likely your window of opportunity will be right here. That's that low end of that. I realize there's a lot of confetti here, but your window of opportunity will probably be strongest between 27 and a half and let's just say round numbers 40 cents on this, and that's going to be coming up pretty darn quick, I believe. Once we pierce past this AI line, it's all over but the crying. You know what I'm saying? All right. Isn't this gorgeous? Just like I told you. See? That was last night. So here we are at 50%. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. 18 cents. 18 cents XLM. I mean, it's not a bad price, but oh wait, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. A lot of this broadcast is not going to be anything other than just kind of confirming what we talked about last night. You know, it's always nice to kind of say, well, are we still looking good? Yeah, we're looking damn good. Damn good. So by Sunday, my suspicion is of course, obviously anything that waterfalls like this is going to catch a little bit of a bounce, but then they're going to double dip and they're going to slam it again. So strongly believe that probably here by Monday, we're probably going to be seeing these prices. That's just a hunch, but a good one. So here's the first one that a lot of people were watching. There we go, right in the middle. Right in the middle. This is one I told you specifically told you it's okay to start buying this when we get right to the middle of that box. Welcome to the finish line. If you guys want to start hopping in now, I have no problem with that. It probably will get a little bit because obviously, like I said, everything's going to go a little bit lower. So what I'm going to suggest to you throughout this entire broadcast is you don't always want to, these are some of these concepts that we revisit over and over again. You don't always want to go, well, maybe if I could just get a little closer to the crack, if I could just get a little closer to the line, and then it never gets there. So we are now, let me be very specifically, we are now in the zone where it is okay to buy. Now, yes, could go lower. I'm not suggesting it won't go lower. What I'm saying is there's plenty of glory making a purchase for 5.89 cents XDC. However, I do believe that it will probably go down to the bottom of this line here. But we've got to get past this line here, this AI line at 555. And we do have a fairly strong amount of resistance there. So as I see it, listen to my words very carefully. That's a pretty strong line to have to cross. We're close enough to it right now. Getting it bought will be just perfectly permissible. Now, just so you know, well, what if I buy it a little bit lower? You're only buying it, if it's able to go that far. We could sink another, theoretically, 23%. 23% is easy to do in a day. So if we have another bad day, which I strongly believe we are going to have, then yes, we could go lower. But if you want to take let's just call it a safety position. If you want to take better to get a little bit now than to miss the whole boat, I would agree with that. I absolutely would agree with that. Let's show you a little something here. So we can. This is just one interpretation of this. Yeah, I think I'll be good with that. All right. So we are already below the half point on the channel. So basically, we've got a window here of operation right there. And there's some stall points. The first one, major one, being right there. And then obviously the promised land would be right there. So that's not to confuse the issue here, but basically what you're looking at is yes, if you bought right now, you'd be doing exceptionally well in the long term. But don't hold out for this to be a possibility just yet. When we hit and cross this line, then push it all to the middle, definitely. But we've already taken a pretty good tumble from last night's broadcast at 27%. This could very well go one more candle here in, what are we looking at, 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes here. Let me kind of yammer for about 6 minutes, and we'll check and see what's going on here. The strength of this is going to be predicated. What I'm looking at here, by the way, is I'm looking at this 5.36 minutes to the next candle opening. Looking at all my indicators, though, down, 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 down. We're 5 for 5, so I don't see, I don't see anything that really makes me feel like we couldn't tag right off of this line right here. So 555 or 557 or whatever you want, we can call it 555. 0.0555 is a pretty strong likelihood here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So let's watch and see. We'll come back on this one. But again, they're all pretty much going to move this direction, move this way. I didn't check this last night, I don't think, because I was just kind of curious. Yeah, it's just sitting there. It's not doing much anything. So we're hitting on top of that. So again, like I told you guys, if you're in this, I gave you fair warning. Get the hell out. it's not gonna end well. All right, so Theta was one of those I was telling you about last night. How I distinctly told you that I expected here very, very soon to make it down to the red line, and lo and behold, here we are. So we're halfway, we're half stroke down to the bottom, so she's heading down here. So this is just another one of those indicators. Look at the spread on that alligator, or look at this, or the spread on the snapdragon right there. I mean, it's pointing hugely down, hugely. They're all pretty much, the entire market is mimicking that 5 for 5 indicators pointing down. So for the next few hours or so, we're going to be seeing more and more and more plunge. Let's get to the really good one. This is really the one that I want to focus the most on. So look how damn close we are. So this candle came in since last night. So I told you we're going to be tagging the top of that circle there. I moved that circle down. I said this is where we're going to be, and we just blipped the top of that thing. So probably on the next candle, see, we're just now starting to roll into the red. Alligator snapdragon is pointing very much down. Bollinger bubbles are expanding, coming out of the throat, starting to point down. All the indicators are down, very violently down, 5 for 5. So we're going to be coming down. So as far as from where we're at right now to just making, let's go to that AI line right there, another 37%. I'm going to readjust this. I always like to kind of keep my calls in line with ISIS's most recent line. Not suggesting we won't probably come down here, but I always kind of like to, the beauty of this system is it updates 100 times a second, and it pulls out the most statistical data, updates the statistical data 100 times a second, and it redraws these lines constantly. I haven't had one redraw on the broadcast for a while, but you always want to look at the most recent lines as being the highest degree of probability. So I'm readjusting that up just a little bit. So that puts you at 8.0815, just to round numbers up. So in order to do that, from where we're at to where we're going to be going down to that line there, you're looking at about a 37.37% drop. That would not likely be just a boom hit because we're inside of a channel. What would likely be is a series of tags off, and then eventually coming down by Sunday or so. Because between now and Sunday, we'll be inside of that side of that range. So it has to kind of work through, and then when it finally has enough, it'll capitulate and go down. But she's coming. She's coming. Again, another one. Ping, right in the circle. Just like I told you. I said it was going to happen. There she is. So, with regard to this one, guys, I don't see any reason to wait. I really don't. Chase, he bought a whole bunch of this damn stuff at 10 cents. This is half price from what he paid, and he was happy at 10, and so he just woke up at the crack of noon, so he's got his old man's bad habits, so... I walked out in the kitchen here just a couple of minutes ago, but we got 10 inches of snow. I walk out in the kitchen in the morning, I find him. So I want to paint, I'm sorry, side story here. So my son is about as eclectic as you can possibly get. He's a very brilliant young man, but he is not fit for marriage. He's extremely MGTOW. He's got a girlfriend, but I found it. Well, I'll just describe what I saw in the kitchen when I went in to get something to drink. I go into the kitchen here a couple minutes ago, and he's wearing snow boots, pajamas, and a parka, and he's baking a wedding cake. He's a master chef, and he was working on a wedding cake project for a customer that just knows he's an amazing chef and said, "Hey, would you make us a wedding cake?" So he's making a 5-layer chocolate and chocolate chip wedding cake, and he's got this whole engineering thing going on in my kitchen right now. And apparently, he just decided in the middle of that to start snow shoveling so he can get his Jeep out of the driveway or whatever. So he's got a chocolate covered spatula in one hand, a parka, snow jammies, and snow boots. Can you tell there's no women that live in this house? It's absolutely hilarious. So anyway, I'm sorry. It just made me giggle. So I just had to share that with you. All right. So anyway, with VeChain, go ahead, guys. I don't really see. This is one of those stepping over dollars to pick up pennies kind of thing. I believe it will go a little bit lower, but as I see this, the best that we're probably going to get is probably down here into this range. Whoops, excuse me. Is probably down in this general range right here, which could be 2 cents, well, anywhere from 2.75 probably up to 3.5 cents. Not ruling it out, but let's not be stupid here, because I'm telling you that I have Anubis has this thing predicted as probably anywhere from $7 up to $15 in the somewhat distant future. So don't don't step on your own feet on this one. It's time to buy. Here we are, sub nickel. I mean, this thing's sitting here screaming sale, sale, sale. Kmart's having a blue light special, so get it. There we go. Right on top of the green box. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. So right now, basically, we have about... candidly, guys, I'll tell you that, again, this is another one of those. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. If you want dent, you got my my backing on that. Yes, we can get lower, but the future is not certain. Can everybody hear me all right? I noticed the chat kind of slowed down a little bit here. I don't know, you guys are kind of commenting as I roll through this. Can everybody hear me okay? Presuming that you can. If not, I'll turn my mic up a little bit. All right, so anyway, it's perfectly fine to be buying this. And the reason I say that is because here we are, kind of we've tagged the top of a box here that is really got some support and resistance. We are basically coming right off of support, so I don't see any reason why you need to try and
scrape off that last little bit, because we can still see to make it to that last predicted marker would still take about a 35% drop. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be possible if we have a bad Sunday. But again, if you want to take a safety position, this is what this broadcast is going to be about, is recognizing that there are prices here that are in and of themselves attractive. Not saying with any of these coins that it's time to go deep on them, but you do yourself a huge disservice by probably not taking a little bit of. I hate dollar cost averaging, but if you want to look at it that way, then yes, you might want to start averaging in right now, because on some of these that I'm talking about, like T Fuel, like VeChain, and certainly this one here. So, and again, actually, probably even on Ethereum as well. It's likely we'll watch everything continue to drop throughout. Yeah, it's between now and Sunday, I would suspect, because all indicators on all these. I mean, look at the Snapdragon. I mean, they're all mimicking exactly the same thing. So probably for the next hour or so, this waterfall is probably going to continue. But I'm telling you that it's good until it's not good. And so right now, basically, you've played out this theory arrow here. We're waiting for the next one, and this cycle marker here is basically we pumped that up. Let me move that over, by the way. I'm not following my cycle markers very much anymore. So our next, that's about basically, that's working. See, now I'm sorry, I'm multitasking my thoughts here. So you can see that it went up and we broke form. Remember me talking last night how we broke form? We should be ascending because of this, but you see we're actually opposite now. So if you look at the cycle marker, actually what's going to be happening is we've now gone on to a different wave. We're basically, our lows probably going to start coming up through that now. So we're basically working at 180 degrees opposite of this sine wave here. So bringing together lots of thoughts here. I think, whoops, excuse me. I hate it when these things don't lock. Hold on just a second. Yeah. So basically, we've got a small window in which we can achieve that low price. By the time we get out of that window and start coming over here in this direction, we'll probably start heading back up again. So within that area there, you've got possibly a few candles that can get you down there, but don't think that this window of opportunity is going to stay open forever, because it simply will not. All right, so we had a double hit. So this little stroke, so this is an interesting little thing here. So I told you 16.45. How's that for accuracy? There it is. Ping. First one, check. Got it. Right there. So very little doubt. We're heading towards 1250 Polkadot. Can't be talking to you McDonald's money guys about this, but you guys that have, well, let's say $10,000 or more. If you have $10,000 or more liquid, I'm not talking about selling other coins to get in this because I'm talking about it. If you have $10,000 or more, you might want to consider maybe $1,000 or $1,500 worth of this. If you guys are into the Rome project, let's just come at it from this. If you guys are into the Romedale project with us, this should be another consideration that you should be. I mean, if you believe heavily in Rome, obviously you should. This is part of the Rome substructure. This is part of the underpinnings and part of what Rome is building its houses upon, is on the Polkadot ecosystem. So it makes all the sense in the world. If you support Rome, then you should also support all roads that lead to Rome. And so I have done this myself personally at a much higher price. I got in here at right up here, I believe it was, and I'm fine with that. I bought $100,000 worth of it, and because I'm telling you right now, I'm not worried that this thing isn't going to go much higher, because it damn sure is. However, would I buy more? Not right now, because I've got my eyes on some other stuff. So I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do a massive T Fuel buy here pretty soon. So you guys that are in VIP, I will let you know. I will give you fair warning before I drop the hammer, but I'm going to be doing 6 digits on it. I'm going to I'm gonna just tear a hole in the universe with that. And so T Fuel's easy money, easy money. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing here this afternoon. Between now and Sunday, I'm going to be watching for an entry, and then I'll let all my VIP guys know when I'm ready to drop. But the next purchase that I make will likely probably be T Fuel. So just be watching for that. I didn't cover this the other day. I'm kind of curious what way down there. Ooh, man, just getting hell beat out of it. There's your predicted level. $1.55. And again, we've talked about this thing forever and ever and ever. Not really on my radar is probably one of the better plays that you can make and stuff like that. I don't consider it a fast pony. I don't consider it, if we're buying for the long haul and you're looking to round out your portfolio, probably you might want to take a look at this. So we've got, here's something I'm seeing here with this that just tells me and confirms what the rest of the market's going to do. That's a Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders does this. I'm just using sloppy TA here. That's going to get ugly, folks. Ugly. 50 cent. 50 cent is probably coming for 1 inch. So, if you see 50 cent 1 inch, well, that changes my opinion a little bit. You might want to get this because I do believe 1 inch is going to move itself into the #1 position for decentralized exchanges sooner or later. It shocks me that it's not gaining ground faster than it is. But again, if I can pick it up at 50 cents and I don't have anything better to spend my money on, darn right. All right, so let's talk about this one before I... I'm savoring this because I know what I'm going to find when I see it. I haven't looked, but I already know what I'm going to see. Reef, there you go, right inside the box. Now, this is average in area. It's okay to start buying this right now. 0.009 and some sub change or whatever, and on down from there. But over, let's say between now and this evening, again, bearing in mind that I'm speaking to you at noon here in the United States, I realize I got people all over the world that listen to me. Between now and, well, let's just say the next 9 to 10 hours. Let's say it that way. In the next 9 to 10 hours, I expect this to tag off the bottom of that box. Absolutely expect it. But any place inside of that box, you have my full support. If you want to go ahead and throw down on this, throw hard, baby. Throw hard, because this thing is going to be one of those that you're going to want to have. You got an opportunity to get it. Again, I'm not to re-belabor a point here, but my first purchase was up here, and it went 90% within hours after me telling you guys. And so this thing is at a fine price right now compared to what I paid. I mean, it blows my mind that it would even be at this price, 64% lower than the first time I bought it. Holy hell. So 65% actually. So if we're able to get down 72, 73%, get it. I believe very heavily in this project. It's Red Bear did a report on this, so obviously you guys want to learn a little bit more about this. There is a Red Bear report go back and look at our videos here on YouTube, and you can see a really good report on what this is, what it does, and why you want it. This is a Banker Light. This is not a ISO coin, but it is associated with finance, as I've said many times. And never bet against the bankers, man. Money's where if you want to make money, you got to go where the money's at. It's in finance. So, if anything, my life has ever demonstrated, that's certainly true. So, don't miss a chance to be a part of this. I mean, this is you McDonald's players. This is T Fuel. This is a little bit longer. This is a slower turn, but a equally, if not much larger build long term. So let me speak to that while I'm having presence of mind. So you McDonald's money guys, let's assume you pull down big money, $500, $500 a paycheck. Although I don't know what they're paying. What are they paying at McDonald's now? $15, $16 an hour, some shit like that. But anyway, if you're making $500 a month, take $250 and buy Reef. Take $250 and buy T Fuel. Go short term and long term. That way you got a little something to grow on, a little something to play with. And those two are the ones and probably Dent too if you wanted to. those two are probably one of the best for you to be into with small bucks. You guys that are trying to build something, get something going. Those are the two I would probably urge you and push you towards. All right, let's get it done. Woo, woo, woof, woof. So we tagged off the top of the yellow box here. The yellow box is basically support and resistance zones. So, the story's playing out. We're getting there. We're getting there. So by tonight, we'll be at the bottom of this channel here. We got a couple channels to contend with. Highly likely that we'll probably end up kind of bebopping around here, but eventually we're going to be in this. And once we get past this line, then it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly in the doghouse. So we're just watching and waiting. And we're getting the same thing. We're getting closer and closer. Booyah. Just like I told you. This was on last live stream. I told you here we're going to hit that box, and there we are. As promised. So, is it time to buy? Well, we have support and resistance, a lot of it actually. Let's take a look here. So we're ascending, negative. Again, much like we're the throat is just now starting to flare out a little bit. Very important. I'm talking about this Bollinger bubble here. Very spread out on the Snapdragon. We haven't talked about the concept of being far away from the 200 EMA. A lot of you guys have been with me for a while, always know my theory. So this baby blue line right here is a 200 EMA. Generally, anytime we are too far to the plus or to the minus of that by 15%, I don't like it when we get like that. But we are so close. In other words, what I'm saying is we have enough flexibility, enough chain to run with that we can get considerably far away from this 200 EMA before we have to sweat about snapping back. Case in point being up here. See, I mean, look at from here to here. We were, what were we? Damn, things are always in the way. Well, we were 97%. I mean, it was bound to snap back. I mean, of course it was going to snap back. So here we are down here, just barely cresting past this thing. We can pretty much just rebound the other direction, slam down hard, and come down. So yeah, it's possible. We could very well see buck 3, buck 4, buck 5, right in that range, inside the circle, probably by Sunday. It's very, very likely. But we're going to have to get past this support and resistance at the top of this box first. Once we clear this, then it's really going to start to get very, very interesting. Now, again, I see this, and I'm putting this, is this still relevant? Believe it or not, yes. Believe it or not, yes. Let me show you something. From where we're at here down to that buy zone would be an 87% drop. Now, again, it's very, very remote likelihood. Very remote. So I don't want any of you guys waiting to make a buy at 87% below where we're already at on a downhill slide. But yes, that is still a relevant thing here, and this is the nuclear option. So don't look at this as any kind of play that even I'm going to get involved on. But I'm watching. If we get convincingly past this, I'm going to start looking at this with with some seriousness. But we got a long way to go. So I would have no problem with you guys basically going all in by the time we get to about here, because that's perfectly fine. A buck, buck 3, buck 4, buck 5. On MATIC will be perfectly fine. MATIC is an essential tool to the internet going forward, or to the financial system, the crypto ecosphere going forward. So buying it at a buck, I mean, the prices are going to be so considerably much higher, here in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. If you can get this stuff bought cheaper, yes, but I don't think that I would probably hold out. We're not looking at a mass crash. As I see it, we're looking at a hard pullback or a large pullback right now. So let's play it for what I see it to be. You can never predict the ultimate bottom and stuff like that, because these cards, they turn one by one. So you have to kind of watch and see how it goes. To answer your question on is SHIB available on Uphold, probably is, but it's also available on Coinbase, so I wouldn't be messing with it on Uphold because you're going to get feed up the ass. So don't use Coinbase, or I'm sorry, don't use Uphold if you don't have to. Use Coinbase. That's no ringing endorsement for Coinbase, but lesser of two evils. All right, so Populous, we are now below. As I told you, we would get below all this. I was kind of showing you how we were going to get out of this thing. So now we are convincingly outside of that triangle now. So triangle's done and done. So we're down below. So now we're going to start to see some real falling. So what it's highly likely here, let's go back and kind of sketch this out. We have, let's get my, pretty much that red line there is about our last little bit of support that we have before it really falls out of bed and goes hard down. So we could see another 36% drop on Populous very, very easily. Very, very easily. Let me even show you the TA version of that because I can get it there from the TA version as well. This is not going to be an exact arrow, but so see that? So, and I'm going to leave that red because that is exactly what's going to happen. Looking at that from could we go 50%? We probably might have a little bit of a stall at 50%. This is my little 50% move deal, but I think we would go full stroke on that because this one's just not getting any respect. So I believe that it could probably get down there to about, what's the price on that? Let's just call it 18 cents to be conservative. Am I treating this like that sleeper type thing that we were playing for so long? No, but as I told you in the broadcast, let's go back and revisit that concept one more time. I told you that we're coming out of a triple wave with this, and if this were to do what I expect it to do, and we were to come up to the numbers that I was expecting it to come up, if we were to buy it at that red line and come up to about just where our first real resistance is. Our first real resistance is like right about roughly, well, our first real resistance is right here. That's 600%. 600%, 6x return on your money. Well, your first real resistance, I'm sorry, is actually right here, which would be about 255%. But if we break past all this, if things go bullish, the whole market goes bullish, and yes, it will eventually, we are going to shatter through this. We're going to work on it because there's a lot of resistance there. There's a lot of ceiling. It starts over here, and it continues through here. But once we break past this, it's going to run, and it's going to run to right here, giving you 560% return on your money. Then it's going to run to right here, 778. Then it's going to run up here to 1,100. Now, will it happen? The high degree of likelihood that I see, again, to kind of go back and reillustrate what I told you about, this being a triple wave, I expect that probably somewhere around about there is where it's going to break, unless everything just gets wacko and things start to just really go crazy. But we got to play the things that we can believe in the most, and I can believe in this. And you're looking at, probably anywhere from 600 to 7.5%, 750%. So those would be the calls that I would make with this, and that's not looking at this as anything but a money making opportunity. It's not a long term hold or whatever, because it's got too much going against it right now. It's just not getting enough respect. I don't know that I would necessarily want to tie up my portfolio on the hope that things will turn around. That's just bad investment strategy. If you see an opportunity to take something that's getting the hell beat out of it, make money on it, no matter what it is, take that opportunity if it makes sense to you. But don't hold it thinking, oh, this franchise can turn around or whatever. This company can bring in a new CEO. I don't invest like that. I invest only on the givens that I know and I see. So I advise the same for you. Down she goes. We're going to be in that hole, just like I said. So we're already at 50% of what I told you last night. So yes, the box is absolutely going to happen. It's going to hit off this AI line right here. It's going to think about it a little bit, and then she's going to go down, and then easily probably to the bottom of this box by Sunday, I would imagine. So clearly we are not following any kind of Super Bowl pump, at least yet. So we're watching for that. We're watching for this here, and I don't think this is the end of the story. Truly, where I think it is down here, but we'll call this for now. But I can easily see this getting down to this bottom part of this box here before anything major happens. Again, in the box. Right in the hole, baby. Right in the hole. So this one's a lot more waterfally than the rest of them. So this one's kind of showing us where the rest of the market's going. Alligators spread out, super wide. Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band's much more accentuated with this one. So yes, we are definitely headed down into this zone right here. Quant is an ISO coin. Remember that. It's one of those ones you want to have when opportunity strikes. So opportunity is in the middle of being stricken right now. So your ultimate target here is right here. That's at about 38 bucks down to 30 to, we'll just call it 30 to 40 bucks. Your ultimate box. I need more money. Yeah, no kidding. Need to learn to play our harmonica and go hang out on a busy street. All right, so let's talk about Rome a little bit because I meant to get into Rome. So guys, if you're new to the live stream again, obviously my name is Red Baron. Thank you very much. Love to have you with us. Good to meet new friends and have new people join in the broadcast here. Like and subscribe and share this with your friends, guys, because I don't advertise very much. I don't I do what I do when I do it, and so obviously the algorithm hates my guts because I don't broadcast trash every single day unless I got something to say. So I really do count on you guys sharing it with your friends, sharing with your other groups, liking, subscribing, commenting. Because that's what tickles YouTube, and it's what keeps me on air and stuff like that. Because I've noticed that we've lost a great number of subscribers, and that's because YouTube's delisting. YouTube does that once in a while just to kind of poke you. It has nothing to do with people losing interest. It's just that YouTube just stops suggesting them. So the more you suggest and recommend me to other people, the more that helps out the channel and stuff like that. So it encourages me. The bigger I get, the more encouraged I get. So knowing I have a larger audience is always fun for me too. So anyway, back to Rome. Romedale project is something that's just been absolute phenomenal. This thing, as I said many times, and I've said last night on live stream, this thing pays out 3 times a day. 3 times a day. Let's take a look at some of the specs on this bad boy right now. So yes, in fact, you are looking at my portfolio. I don't mind sharing that with you. I've got 4,000 coins in this particular wallet, so not too shabby. This is not my main wallet, but right now, currently, it's paying 104% APY. Is your Shiba doing that? We know it's not. Is your Bitcoin doing it? Hell no. Is anything doing that right now? No. What I want to call your attention to is this number right here. Don't get all starstruck by this. It's cool. It's fun. It's neat to talk about at parties, but this is not what makes you money. This is what makes you money right here. So what I want to call your attention to is the reality of this situation. If you do not understand the math and you have not jumped in on this, let me show you something that will rock your world. This is happening every 5 days, meaning if you've got $100 into Romedale, we'll just call it a 10%, just to round that up. If you got $100 in Romedale, you're gonna, in 5 days, you're going to have $110. And then in the next in the next 5 days, you're going to have 120 and then 130. And six times a month, it's going to do this. It's going to pay you those percentages 6 times a month. In other words, it's going to take you up. I think they did a calculation on something like 70 to 75%, because it compounds that on top of it. So you're getting 75% return on your money, give or take. If I remember correctly, through rebasing and through compound and stuff, I believe is how Domain calculated that. But the point I'm making is this: holding all these dirtbag coins and all these shitty promise coins, Digibyte, Shiba. I'm sorry, I gotta keep saying it, but it makes no sense, because you're hoping for a grand payoff that you have no form of credibility backing. You just don't. But meanwhile, let me give you the, and I'm not showing you this just to simply impress you. I want to show you, I've got 4,000 coins. In 38 minutes, I'm going to get 24.8 coins. So let me show you in real world dollars. I mean, I have to kind of lead by example. This is why I do this. So 24.8 times current price right now. I have to look and go see what current price is. Current price is $94. Okay, so is your Shiba paying you that every 8 hours? My Rome is. I make that just sitting on my butt talking on YouTube every single day. Impressive, isn't it? So now that's me at a considerable higher number of coins at a price as the price descends. But the thing about this is let me give you another thing here. So there's something called Rome Calculator, which we have here. Let's get into Rome Calculator. We haven't talked about Rome Calculator for a while. So let's take McDonald's Mickey, or Ronald at McDonald, whatever you want to call it. Little Jimmy with his $100 stimmy is as as another YouTuber likes to say. Let's say you got 10 coins, which is reasonable to do at prices right now. If you got 10 coins, and let's just figure in the APY right now, current restaking rewards, current Rome price, future price, and we have changed nothing in 30 days. 30 days, guys. Let me show you what happens. No matter what you do, sitting there talking on YouTube, going out fishing, hanging out with your kids, and let's be honest, that's what you really want to do. You don't want to be sitting here staring at blips and numbers on a board, because, I mean, we're not hooked up, meant to do this with our lives. So in 30 days, just throwing in your 10, so let's say you got basically a grand total of $941 into the kitty on this thing to start. And in 30 days, and this is the beauty, if you scroll down, it'll tell you every single day what your payouts are. I'll teach you how to read this here in just a second, but let's get down to the bottom line here in 30 days. In day 30, this number right there is what you're going to have in your pocket. You put in $900 and you got back about $645, and give you about $750 profit. Is your Shiba doing that? No, you know it's not. Is your Digibyte doing it? Oh, God, no. Is your Bitcoin doing that? No. None of this stuff did, because you're basically, it's hope against something that's actually doing something. Every single 8 hours this is doing this. So let me show you the real exciting part about this. So if let's just take this and let's go out just for fun. Let's go out 90 days and let's see how the story is. And again, we put no new money with this. You got to remember, we put in $941 and we've never done anything else. In 90 days, that turns into $5,022. That's with this calculator. I mean, it could get even better than that. In 180 days, which is 6 months, think you can hang on it for 6 months? Turns into $26,786. That's about what your manager at McDonald's is making. Not bad. Like I said, it's not life-changing. You know, when you're trickling in, the more money you put into it, the more you make, obviously. And so we've got guys within the group here at the unfairadvantage.chat that, you know, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this. And, you know, God bless you. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You know, look at that portfolio going, I hate you, Digibyte. You suck. Sell it at a loss if you have to, because look how fast you make it back. I took a 27% loss on my Shiba when I sold it, which is something I'm absolutely allergic to doing. I mean, it makes a loss, but I looked at the numbers, I looked at the math, and within a week, all wounds were healed. And on and onward and upward. So I've got currently right now, I'm watching. Let's get back to the charts here. Currently, I've got a few tools plugged into this thing. Finally, this is kind of it sucks because I can't use standard stuff, but I was able to put the Bollinger Bands into this thing, and I'm watching this right now. So it's starting to lose price a little bit. So we are going to go down a little bit lower. And there's been some people who have been very concerned, like, well, the price keeps going down. Good. We want it to stay down for a little while because that's what keeps the rebase up. That's what keeps the price of this thing up. For right now, get my Dow page back here. The lower that price is, I mean, we've been flirting backwards and forwards and under and over this 100,000 APY. When I got into it, it was 250,000 APY. That was just so that they could draw people in and stuff like that. So, but this is going to go on for, theoretically, probably another, well, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 7 months. We're still going to be seeing good returns. But what I want you to concentrate on, see how we popped up now, and now we're at 10.1. This fluctuates every once in a while. But the highlighted part there, that's what you want to look at, because until you can find me another investment that every single month gives you 70% return on your money, don't talk to me about how impressive your coin is, because nothing in crypto is doing what this is doing. With the steady growth that this is getting. Now, when there's a game element to this. Once that gets rolled out, I could give less of a rip about it if I had to. But when that stuff comes out here at the end of next month, I believe either the end of this month or next month, there's going to be a lot of people flooding in trying to find out what this Rome game thing is all about. They're going to be checking out the tokens and the bonding and the rebasing and stuff like that. It's all good. It's going to make the price go up. So when the price of the coin goes up, let's go back to McDonald's Mickey and his 10 coins here. Let's talk about him for a second. What happens when prices start changing? So let's go back and review what 30 days does. Okay, 30 days, again, gives him $1,500. Right? That's assuming the price hasn't changed. But let's change the price. Future price. Let's assume, because I already told you guys, I expect that there's going to come a time when we are going to come up with that three-wave theory. We're going to come up, and probably the first touch off of a high price that we're going to revisit is probably going to be about $250. Mark my words. Remember that I told you that, because it sticks very well with me that 250 is going to be about where we're going to come up to. Are we going to come higher than that? Yes, considerably higher. But we're going to see our first resistance, strong, firm, solid resistance at about 250. So I'm not suggesting that we're going to see $250 here in 30 days, but let me show you how violently this changes the mathematical formula. So you're getting all these coins paying out every single 8 hours. So you get coin. So now you've got a total of 4,000 in 30 days, but you've got a total of let's see how many coins did you end up with. So you started with 10 coins. You've got 6 more coins now here at the end of 30 days. Now all those coins together are worth $4,000. So you basically just 4x'd your money. But let's go back and take a look at something here. I'm sorry, that was in 30 days. I don't know where we came up with that. Let's go down here. There we go, 17,000. Yeah. So you got seven and a half coins. So let's take this out to 180 days just for fun. And now let me show you how interesting this gets. So again, we've got 10 coins we never added anything to. We're assuming that the price is now, when we're ready to cash out in 6 months, up to $250. And I'm telling you that that's very, very, very likely. In fact, it's probably a lowball price. Look at the bottom line now. Your manager at McDonald's ain't making that. Impressed? So this is why I want each and every one of you to take a very, very, very hard look at the Romedale project. If you'd like to get into this thing, it's not exactly the funnest thing in the world to get into. Join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. Contact me, Red Baron, at Red Baron, and or any one of our mods, and we'd be happy to guide you in. And we do keep our own independent what do I want to say? We have our own chat rooms and stuff like that where we monitor the price of this stuff. So you don't want to be out there trading against some of these jokers that are dropping the market right now. Because I personally, me, Crypto Rich, and Jeff's Habit have been kind of raising hell with these guys and making them earn their keep. We have been dropping bags on these guys for like the last 3 days, just to kind of put a little pain on them to make them knock that shit off, because we don't want to see them destroy a good project. But currently the prices are going down, and I'm of a mixed feeling about going down, because I want it to go down because I want you guys to get in. So let's just agree that for right now it's a good thing that the price is down. In about 3 months, this thing, we want the bottom to be out and done by March. So we have a window to be able to load the boat right now between now and March. Tolerate these low prices, guys. I know that your investment mentality is, you're looking at this like Shiba 2.0. Oh my God, it's another disappointing. It's not. It's not. This is an opportunity to gather, collect, and rebase at a lower price, because you're still getting 10% return on your money. Doesn't matter. And so this thing, when it swings the other way, look what little McDonald's Mickey made with his 10 coins. That could be you. So there's not a single person within the sound of my voice that should not take a little bite out of this apple, because it's a very, very juicy apple. All right, so we're gonna just talk about that here going forward a little bit more, because this is something that every single one of you need to have a piece of in your portfolio. If for nothing else other than just to have something that's got a W in the column, because it's getting sickening to look at some of this stuff losing price. No, there's no KY. If you go through us, we can get you into the process really, really fast. Here's another thing too. I've had a few of you guys that go, well, I can figure out how to get into this stuff. Yes, you probably can, but you don't have the tools that we do to be able to buy in as effectively. So it may end up costing you more money to buy in on your own than it does to kind of have us help you out with it, because there are many roads to Rome. Let's just say that you can get in, you can go through different trade platforms and stuff like that, like KuCoin and whatnot. There's better ways to do it. So, but as far as to answer your question on KYC, zero. There's none. There's none. So of course, obviously, if you want a chance to get in on that, obviously just starts by just joining us at the unfairadvantage.chat. Just reach out to me, and I'll be happy to kind of talk you, and I can get on the phone. If you're local here in America, I can get on the phone and talk with you about it. If you're not, I can talk to you on Discord. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. We'll figure out a way to touch base with you and help you get on board with this. So no KYC. Doesn't matter where you live. You can live up in the mountains. You can live in the city. Whatever. It's perfectly cool. Even at $70, these rates will have $220,000 in 5 months. There you go. Preach, brother. That's how it goes. So it's a wonderful opportunity. I mean, very few things. Welcome to crypto. I mean, I had so many of you guys when you first got into this project, you were just like, this just can't be real. I'm like, in your normal world, yes, but welcome to crypto. Crypto is magic internet money, baby. Anything's possible. So, it's not going to go on forever. I don't want you guys to think that that's going to be possible, that this is ever going to go on forever. But, we've got a good anywhere from half a year to 3/4 of a year left in the future. Eventually prices are going to stabilize, but prices are going to go up too. A couple of our mods are watching this thing. We've got one that's on the council for Rome, as a matter of fact. So we've got kind of an inside guy that kind of can kind of give us the scoop on what's going on. And that's another advantage of being with us, because we have a server specifically for this that only people who work through us get on, and so you kind of get our oversight on that, and our tools, as it were, and all the news. And boy, there's a lot of news that's coming out. But it's one of those things where if you can do without, shut off your cable, spend that money you spend on cable, buy Rome. I mean, it's those things. We've talked about this, 6, 7, 8 months ago. We talked about walking around the house and looking for all that useless stuff that you don't need, turning it into crypto. This would be the ultimate expression of that. If you got a second car that you don't need, sell it. I mean, can you imagine taking a second car you don't need, especially with what car prices are right now? If you don't need some old junk car or some furniture you don't need or whatever, and selling that shit and turning it into Rome, what you could do with that, you can buy yourself not only some new furniture, but a house to put it in. It's crazy. It absolutely is. If you hang on for a year, we're forecasting potentially $3,000 per coin. I I mean, life-changing. Even at the small levels, absolutely life-changing. All right, guys, so I think that's pretty much all I want to cover tonight. Just want to let you know. And again, I'll probably end up doing another broadcast tomorrow because things are moving, and as they move, I will be watching for it. So thank you very much for joining me. Again, one more final time. Love to have you join us at FibbyCharts.com. Like and subscribe to us. Pass us on to your friends. Tell us all about this guy that's on YouTube that's doing some amazing things with his predictions. Join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. Until tomorrow, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.